Hey everyone, Zoroarrkk here, and today I'm bringing you another video. We're going to be doing a live com kind of thing. So I'm going to be playing RuneScape, doing some dungeoneering here. Let's do a few small floors first. While also talking to you a bit heart to heart, in a sense, about something that you probably noticed in my last video if you watched that video. And if you did, thank you so much for doing that. And that's all around the ideology of mental health. And that I'm not entirely okay, and that's fine. I should also preface by saying I'm not bad. Not certainly to where I would need proper help, but I'm not doing too hot. So I kind of want to talk about that, talk about my feelings for multiple reasons. Obviously, some of that is because talking helps with this type of thing. But also, there are many people out there right now that are probably feeling the same way. Some people for the same reason as I, and some people for other reasons. You know, the world is not in a very good place right now, unfortunately. So, I kind of want to post this video to show that it's okay to talk, and it's okay to have these feelings. You know, it's not a bad thing. There's still, even to this day, a little bit of a stigma that, especially for men, you have to be this strong person. You can't show emotion. And that's a really bad thing. And something that we need to keep working on as a society across the entire world to break. Because it does more harm than good. Let me just see what these are. I need... Oh, I can never remember the combat triangle. I think that's melee and that's ranged. Or is that magic and that's melee? We'll work this out. It's going to be one or two combinations. I always forget which way around it is. Which, for someone that's played this game for nearly 14 years, is not good. So I'm going to go with my initial idea first, which is this. And I realized I just made a staff for a staff. That was a great move. This is going well. Okay, so this is going to need a bow. Right. Yeah, so, like, these feelings are okay, and bottling it up is not something that you should do. I mean, some people do. That's how they cope, so I'm not saying, like, if you cope that way, that it's bad. But what I'm saying is that for the majority of people, talking is the way forward. So I want to let people know that regardless of what situation you find yourself in, every situation individually is important, and you are not alone. And you should not, like, I think we're in a kind of a society, and I'm guilty of it myself, where you kind of always one up people. And, you know, the joke of, like, first world problems, right? I mean, some of them obviously are. But every issue to an individual is, or can be, like life or death. And that's kind of where I'm at, is I've obviously now been laid off twice. And it hurts because both times it's not been my fault. They've also both been for different, like the redundancy's been made for different reasons. And this one, I'm not going to go too far into it, but you can probably look online because it is public. This one is not purely because of finance, in a sense, which hurts even more. You know, it's nothing to do with my performance or my attitude or anything like that. It's basically that they just didn't really want me, and that hurts. That really does hurt. And I'm kind of in this state right now where I feel almost a bit hopeless and disgruntled. I'm not sure if that's really the right word, but, like, I'm very frustrated that I've spent a lot of energy in the past year to try and avoid this happening again, and it's happened again, right? When I got made redundant the first time from Panabox, I really realized that for the last year or so of being there, I kind of coasted. I knew what to do. Like, I knew what I did. I knew how to do it well, and I kind of was just like, I'll just do this, right? Because it needed to be done. It wasn't like I wasn't doing work. All that stuff needed to be done. It's just that I didn't really push myself. So when I got this job at Quali, I really focused on, okay, I'm going to push myself here. I'm really going to learn. I'm really going to advance myself and basically make it that I'm almost irreplaceable. And I want to say that I did that. And I still got replaced. But I have worked my absolute butt off in the last 10 months. I've learned an incredible amount. You know, I've never written a Steam announcement before. I now am completely comfortable writing a Steam announcement about anything, about planning out a series of announcements, doing, like, knowing when to publish them, actually putting them into the back end, which I'd never seen the back end of Steam's developer before. And yeah, there's a reason for that. But, you know, doing all of that, I'd learned a bit more about Reddit, about potential ways of instances going viral on Reddit. I started doing outreach. I'd managed our Reddit account, our subreddits, all of that stuff. You know, I'd furthered my advancement in Discord, but then I'd also taken on extra responsibilities. I'd started doing social media, which is something that I never thought I'd be able to do. You know, I'd always pretty much gone into this thinking, I'm never really going to do social media unless I, like, absolutely have to, and even then it's going to be, like, to cover someone, right? But I was able to do it, and I quite liked doing it. I started doing TikTok. I'd never even installed the app before, so I had to completely learn this new app, this new platform, what makes people tick on it, and the best ways of going forward on it, on, quite frankly, a game that, from a first glance, isn't the most appealing. So we're already, like, struggling from the off, because trying to get someone to click on a video or not just instantly scroll past was quite difficult. And I feel like I succeeded in that. And the game is now in a much better shape in terms of raw numbers than it was. Obviously, I can't say the numbers, of course, unfortunately. But it, you know, we saw the success of it. I learned how to use things like Sprout Social, which I'd never used before, never looked at. And I picked that up like a duck to water. So all of these things that before this role at Quali, I would never thought I'd be able to do. And I was able to do it, and well. While also having to deal with a lot of personal issues. You know, I think I've mentioned it before on this channel, but I have hypochondria, which is health anxiety. And that comes in many forms. But for me, it's that I always feel like I'm ill. And I shy away from getting help with it. Because I don't like surgery, I don't like treatments. And a lot of that focuses around my teeth. I don't like going to the dentist. It's nothing to do with the dentists themselves. Like, dentists are amazing. They know how, you know, they know what they're doing. And I have full trust in them. I just do not like any part of the dentistry process. Within a week of being up here, I'm moving to Leamington Spa, where I live now. And I was still in a hotel room. I hadn't even got this room yet. I was still in a hotel room. One of my fillings broke. So I had a hole in my tooth. Or tooth, I should say. Because I know I say that very strangely with my accent. So I had to find a new dentist and get that sorted. And that was a big thing for me. Now, luckily, I actually lucked out. My dentist that I chose is absolutely amazing. And then she found out that the pain that I'd actually been having for like 2.5 years, like since middle of COVID, well, actually, I think since before COVID, was actually because one of my teeth was basically falling apart and it had to be sorted. And it was a really big, like for me anyway, operation in a sense. You know, for anyone normally, it would probably be just a drop in the water. But for me, it was pretty important. And I had to do that on my own. Before I'd moved up here, any kind of surgery or dentistry, you know, I had to have, I always had someone with me, like someone from my family. But I had to do that on my own. And I did. You know, I had to move up here on my own. I had to get this place on my own. You know, I'm having to juggle finances, which, I mean, I've done a little bit of that at uni, but uni was a lot easier in a sense. Because all I really had to worry about was how much chicken nuggets were. And that was before all the prices went up. So, you know, it was a lot easier at that point. So I had to do all that. I had to learn how to work in an office because my previous role at Pandabox was fully remote and this one's a hybrid role. So I had to learn how to do that. I had to learn how to work in a publisher because I'd not worked in a publisher before. All of these little things I had to do on top of my role. And I succeeded in that. And then I'd just get a message saying, hey, you're being laid off. So that's kind of where my emotions are right now, is like, I just feel like everything I did was for nothing. And I know that is wrong. Like, I know that I've come out of this a lot better as a person, both personally and professionally. And I've learned a hell of a lot, and I am not doing this puzzle. Please no, I do not like this puzzle. So I know it wasn't a waste of time, don't get me wrong, but it feels like it. And I think the biggest gut punch for me is that I heavily worked on one game called Robobeat, which is releasing next month, May 16th. All this is public knowledge before any potential employers look at this and think I'm spoiling trade secrets. I'm not. This is all public knowledge. But I worked my butt off on that game. I did all the social and community work since December. So 5 months. I increased the amount of social posts we were doing. I increased the amount of Steam posts we were doing. I took over the TikTok, which I think at that point had like 7 videos in the last 4 months. And it only had 7 followers. And I've posted 3 days a week since January. So for 4 months straight, I posted at least 3 times a week. I think it was 2 weeks I posted more. And that channel, that TikTok account now has 400 followers. I literally just checked before this video. With one video sitting at 16,500 views. And an average view on videos of over 300, whereas before it was like 50. So I did all that work, and we're so close to launch, and I was getting ready for, you know, this being almost like really feeling like this is my project. You know, I've done a hell of a lot of work for this just to get laid off a month before it releases. So now I'm not going to be there for launch. You know, I'm going to have to watch on the sidelines like every other person in the public. I'm not going to be able to see the numbers go up. And that hurts a lot. In fact, that probably hurts more than the rest of it. Because of the timing. Like, at least lay me off afterwards, man. Like, come on. And so, yeah, it just kind of feels like I've just been used, in a sense. And yeah, it's just, you know, depressing. And then when you look at the industry itself right now, there are 2 community jobs going. I applied for both of them. Now, luckily, I'll start with the good news, in that I'm actually in the final stages of one of them, so fingers crossed I get that. But the other one, I got rejected for today. So it kind of feels like this is all or nothing. Like this final interview kind of determines my future, because there is nothing else out there at the moment, and I have bills to pay. And it, you know, it's like, cool, I get this month paid from Guali because of my notice period, but after that, I'm done. I'm on my own. You know, I've got no finances. So that's kind of looming over me, and it is making it really hard to just keep going. I think I probably should switch to medium floors here now. But to be honest, I've rambled for way too much. So I kind of want to do closing thoughts here then. To try and make this not a 25-minute bore ramble fest. He says I was rambling. So I want to thank every single person that clicks on this video, and especially the people that are listening right now, like hearing me ramble, because it does mean a lot. It really, really does. I can't tell you how much it does. Whether you've just found this in a YouTube recommended, or whether you've been a subscriber, or whether you know me personally, it truly does mean a lot. As I said, I'm not okay, but I am. I'm not in any danger or anything like that. I'm just not feeling the happiest at the moment, and that's fine. For people that are not okay in both senses of the word, please talk to people. Please go to those crisis helplines, the Samaritans, and all those other ones for different countries. If you just put in crisis helpline, or the S word that I can't say on YouTube because they'll get really unhappy with me, that'll come up. So please do that. They're there for a reason. They do care about you. You are not alone. So please talk to them, because you matter. You really, really do. For me, I'll keep you updated on what's going on. I'm going to try and do more live commentaries. I'm not really too sure on what, but we'll see. I also started trying to stream, so I streamed a little bit last night. Actually playing old school RuneScape, which isn't my RuneScape of choice. So it's kind of interesting to play the older version and realize I have no idea what I'm doing. So I'm going to try and stream a bit more. My internet is strong enough to stream, but it does have its hiccups. Like there was, I think, probably a 15-second period where it was unwatchable, because my internet just decided to no. But as long as the internet holds up, I'll keep trying to stream. So that's twitch.tv/Zoroarrkk. It'll be in a link in the description. So yeah, that's really it for me. Thank you so much for listening to this ramble, and for your support. And I will see you in the next video. Peace out.